guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am 37 weeks and I think 6 days pregnant. So I'm basically 37 weeks. I turn 37 weeks tomorrow pregnant. So I'm going to do, I guess, like my 37 week update, although I haven't made an update since I think like 33 weeks. So I'm kind of just going to be going over everything that's gone on the past like 4 or 5 weeks and catch you guys up. Okay, so first off, baby is the size of a honeydew melon. So it says that at 37 weeks, I am considered near term, so technically not full term. Her system is developed enough to sustain her outside of the womb, but it's basically just a waiting game. Even though baby R, which is our last name, that's not a hint on the name, is over 6 pounds and 19 inches tall, the size of a honeydew melon, close to birth size. Cooking for a couple more weeks can do nothing but help. She's going to be putting on fat and all of that exciting stuff. She's getting ready to breathe. She is just about the size she will be at birth. Her reflexes are also kicking in. And yeah, so basically at this point we have made it to the safe zone where if I were to give birth today, that she probably would not need any intensive care. At this point, I know that babies can still be in the NICU for a short period of time, but at this point we're pretty much considered safe where all of her organs are developed. And thankfully, she has stayed inside of my belly long enough to be completely healthy when she was born. So the first thing I'm going to kind of update on is life has been extremely hectic around here. That is why I have not made an update. I was trying to do updates like every other week, and especially at the end here, I was planning on doing weekly updates. But to be honest, the past month has been so crazy. I was working a ton right up until Christmas. I was working full time, trying to get as many hours in as I could before I started my maternity leave. And then, excuse me, I'm talking too fast. And the week of Christmas was just super crazy. Christmas Eve, we celebrate at my parents' and Nate's parents. So the day before Christmas Eve, I was cooking, prepping for that. Christmas Eve, we were gone literally all day. We did not come home until like 11 o'clock at night. And then Christmas Day, of course, in the morning, we had, Santa came and we got to enjoy that with Bowden. And then we also hosted both of our families here on Christmas Day. So prepping food for that and cleaning and all that stuff was so hectic. And then ever since Christmas Day, those like 4 days after Christmas, we were working on the baby's room and Bowden's room. So we got Bowden's room painted, door put up. Nate made his bed. It took him like 2.5 days because Friday he did have to go into work. So he worked so hard on that. I'm going to do like a little room tour of his room and show off his bed. So that's super exciting. Bowden's in his big boy bed now. And then Saturday, Sunday, we worked on the baby's room and her nursery is all done. There are a few tiny little finishing touches that I want to put on it, but like it's totally fine. If she were to be born today, her nursery is, all the necessities are in there. Everything's washed and clean and hung up and put away. And I just feel so much better, but it has just been so crazy. And then New Year's Eve, Nate's family came into town and we are hosting them here. They're staying in our home. So if you have hosted family, you understand that there's just a lot going on. We've been going everywhere and there have been people constantly in our house and it's just been so chaotic. So I have not had a moment to really like sit down and film and focus on making a video and get ready and everything. Like I literally have barely even worn makeup the past like 2 weeks because we've just been like going, building dressers, painting and washing and folding and sanitizing and so much stuff. But everything is done for the baby and I'm so excited. The last thing we have to do is install the car seat. I washed that today. I need to wipe it all down. We're just using my son's old car seat because it's only 3 years old. So we are going to get that installed once family leaves on Sunday because they are using my car right now. So once they head out of town, we will install that. And yeah, our hospital bag is packed. well, the baby stuff is packed. I wrote a list of things that I need and that Nate needs that we kind of can't really pack until we go to the hospital, like chargers and shampoo and conditioner and clothes and stuff like that. So I have it all written down. So God forbid I do go into labor, we can just, like, we know exactly what we need to pack and just throw it in a bag real quick and go. So yeah, I feel like we are finally prepared for this baby. I have like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I feel like I can finally enjoy these last few weeks or however long until this baby comes. Just try and soak up as much time as possible with Bowden and give him as much attention as possible before this baby comes, and just kind of enjoy these last few weeks and try and rest a little bit as much as possible, which, you know, when you have kids and when you're super pregnant anyway, everything is super uncomfortable, so it's hard to rest, but trying to take advantage of the time left and not having to do any more work is such a sigh of relief. So that's the next thing. I am so tired. I am so physically exhausted at this point. I feel like I cannot keep up. It's really been like the last 2 weeks, although we have been doing a lot the last few weeks, so maybe that's why, but I wake up exhausted. I go to sleep exhausted. I am always physically exhausted. I feel like I could fall asleep at any point in the day. I don't want to do anything, to be completely honest with you. The nesting has kicked in where, like, I definitely wanted to get all of baby girl's stuff done, but physically I do not have the motivation to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to put on makeup. I don't want to put on real clothes. I don't want to vacuum my floors. I don't want to do a thing. Like, I literally am so physically tired. My body is aching. My body feels like there's no room left to stretch. At this point, I feel like my stomach has stretched so much, and it's getting very painful. I'm having a lot of pelvic pain, like in my pelvic bone, and also like right where my ribs are, like where my belly meets my boobs. Like, it just feels like so much pressure and pain in there at all times, and I just feel like I'm running out of space. So it's getting really hard. I feel like this pregnancy has been very good to me. I've been very blessed this time, where I feel like physically it hasn't been as difficult for me this time, but it's like all of a sudden this last few weeks I'm really being reminded of like how hard the end is and how much of a mental struggle it is to get through the end of pregnancy, because you're just so ready to meet your baby and physically you're so tired. It's just getting really hard to keep pushing through. But we're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm also sleeping terribly. I cannot get comfortable. I really need support underneath my belly, so I've either been putting a second pillow under me, or I've been sleeping with my pregnancy pillow, which makes sleeping really difficult for Nate because the pregnancy pillow takes up a lot of room in the bed and he hates when I sleep with it, so I try not to. But it's just getting really uncomfortable. I wake up so many times in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, and it's just making getting deep sleep and good rest really difficult. Also, I'm still having indigestion when I lay down at night, so that's kind of adding to it, where like I'm just constantly having that burning feeling in my throat, and it's terrible. I get really nauseous sometimes and I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I sleep with the garbage can next to my bed now, just in case. So that's another fun symptom that has been making sleeping really difficult. So my weight gain, I actually was stalled at 30 pounds of weight gain for the past like 3 weeks. But actually I just went to the doctor this past Tuesday, today is Friday, and I had gained 2 pounds this week. So for 3 weeks straight, I did not gain any weight, and then I gained 2 pounds. So at this point I've gained 32 pounds this pregnancy. So I also got my Group B strep test. I got that, I think, about 2 weeks ago. I think I was like 36 weeks when I got that done, and my results came back negative. So that's awesome. I don't have to have any antibiotics or anything during labor, so I'm super grateful for that. Oh, also at my 35-week appointment, she checked me and baby is head down, so that is super exciting. Or wait, maybe it was at my 36-week appointment. It was whatever appointment they did the Group B stress, or the Group B strep, not stress, test. She also checked me, baby's head down, and I was 2 centimeters dilated at that point, which was super surprising to me because with my son, I was induced at 39 weeks and I was like not showing any signs of labor at all. I was not dilated. I was not effaced. Like there was nothing going on down there. So I was super surprised that I'm already 2 centimeters. Obviously that doesn't mean much. Like I can walk around being 2 centimeters until 41 weeks when, you know, like it doesn't mean that anything's going to happen, but it does make me hopeful that maybe my body is starting to like do its own thing and kind of go into labor naturally. It gives me hope that maybe I can go into labor on my own because obviously I never got that chance with Bowden. So far everything is looking good for a VBAC as far as my body's already dilating and I'm still a good candidate for it. So we will see if it happens. I obviously am keeping I'm not setting my heart on it. I'm keeping my mind open to whatever is safest for me and this baby. And hopefully I have a successful VBAC. And if not, that's okay too. But yeah, it's really exciting that I'm already dilating and I'm hoping that I go into labor on my own. My doctor said that I can go up to 41 weeks before they will do a scheduled repeat C-section. But I have to go into labor on my own. They will not induce me, which is fine. I don't want to be induced. But yeah, so I have about 3 weeks left to go into labor on my own, or I will be having a repeat C-section. My belly is still measuring right on track, which is super awesome. Baby's heartbeat is still great. Blood pressure is great. Everything is great. So that is super exciting. And yes, I'm on my weekly checkups now. I wrote this list on my phone. If you see me looking down, I take notes. But I wrote this note, I think when I was like 35 weeks. So I started doing weekly checkups, of course, at that point. So I've been going every single week now, and that has been interesting with a toddler. I've had to bring him with me pretty much every time. I think I've only gone alone like once. So the further along I get, I think the harder that's going to be. But I think that's pretty much all I had to update you guys on. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this might be my last update, but probably not. I'm going to try and make weekly updates at this point because I am so far along. Technically, I only have about 2 weeks until my due date. So yeah, hopefully I can keep my word on that and I don't let you guys down again. But yeah, I'm going to do a little belly shot and I will see you next week at my 38-week update. See you guys next time. Bye.